10 Minutes to Midnight is a brand new 2021 horror film from director Eric Bloomquist, I think it's Blum, something like that. And it stars Carolyn Williams, and she's returning to a familiar role, not the same character, but kind of in the same vein as the character that popularized her as a horror actress. She is a radio host, much like she was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 as Stretch, the beloved Stretch. Well, beloved to some of us, not so much to others. But, that movie is like that. There's a lot of people who love it, there's a lot of people who don't like it, and that's okay. So now in this one, she shows up to work, and she has been bitten on the neck. 2 little prongs. Ooh, what could that be? And she also finds out that she is going to be replaced on the show by a younger girl, and she's not taking this well at all. So she goes on air, and she kind of just lets loose, and then the rest of the night starts to change as she does. And yeah, strange occurrences are happening. Okay, with this film, the thing I want to credit about this film is that I think that they at least tried something different, and they kind of swung for the fences. For me, it was mostly a miss, but I'm glad they took the swing. So this film is just, it's very, it feels very ambitious as far as the overall plot and where it ends up going. Because in the end, I think this is supposed to be symbolic or metaphorical. I think I could probably decipher what that is. Maybe if I watched it again. I think I got it on this one, but maybe not. But the film gets really confusing and bizarre. There's a total flip in the last 15-20 minutes that I was like, wait, what the fuck is happening now? So now maybe if you got that, maybe if it totally worked for you and it landed, and then you were like, oh, I know what's going on here. That'd be kind of hard to believe that you would just instantly know what was going on. But by the end of it, you were like, oh, that's, a metaphor for this or whatever. Maybe that would work for you. I think Carolyn Williams, while she's not the greatest actress, this is something we've known about her from day one of seeing her. I still quite like her in this film. I do like her character. I like her freak outs. She has a decent amount of those. I'm not big on the effects of when characters are changing. Some of it's CG, and I just don't like the look of it. So that kind of takes me out of it a little bit. As far as the characters go, I feel like most of the characters are mostly semi-enjoyable. They're fine. Nobody's just awful. There's a lot of weirdness in the movie, though. Characters are just acting not how people would act. And this happens fairly often, but that kind of adds to the more bizarre tone of the film and kind of fits the ending, which is just ultra bizarre and kind of takes a hard fucking turn. But I think anybody who likes more risky, low budget horror, and let me tell you, you're not going to be wasting too much time. This thing is short as hell. This thing's 70 minutes. I mean, this thing's real short. I felt like the swerve didn't work for me, and I didn't really understand what they were going for. But that can't be the only gripe. If the rest of the film was great, and then I didn't understand, then I could probably look past it. But I just didn't really connect the way that I feel like they were intending me to. I do think it's a pretty decent effort, though. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. I think there will be people who watch this and think it's horrible, but I mean, there's plenty of people who watch all sorts of fantastic films, in my opinion, and they think they're horrible. So that's to be expected. Um, but I don't see this one as terrible. I see this one as just missing the mark. Like I think they were going for something for me, but for me, I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see what they're going for here, and yeah, I just didn't connect with any of it. Like I didn't, whatever the humor was, that wasn't really working for me. The horror wasn't really working for me. The story, because it was so confusing, I was just kind of sitting there like, all right, these elements aren't working for me, and now I'm confused, right? So that becomes problematic, and that's really kind of where I landed on with this film. But I like the effort. It seems like a fairly competently made film, even though it doesn't sound like what I'm saying makes it seem that way. I just mean more of like a behind the scenes kind of thing. Like it looks good for the budget. All the technical aspects are pretty good for the budget. Um, it's just it just feels, and maybe I'm just too dumb to get what's going on here. That's possible, but I wasn't entertained, and that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day with these kinds of movies. Was I entertained? No, no, but yeah. Let me know if you watch it. It just dropped very recently, and Lee McCoy brought it up on Drum Dums when I was live streaming with him, and he was like, I think a buddy of his or somebody who knew was directing it or something, and so he was throwing it out there, and I didn't really have any intention to watch it then because I just didn't care for the poster, and then he said that, and then I saw it on there, and I was like, ah, fuck, all right, I'll rent it, I'll check it out, and I did, and here we are, and yeah, but 70 minutes, no big loss. Anyways, let me know. Adios.